Hello,
Hello.
how are you, my beautiful friend?
I'm very good. And you?
Very good. Did you
Okay.
have a good weekend?
I had an excellent weekend. And you?
Yes, very good too.
Good.
Hey, today is a very interesting topic. So we did our French episode yesterday, which was very interesting. So we'll go with we'll see what comes up today. So we will be talking about emotional hypersensibility. Now, just to open a bracket, when we discussed that yesterday, the first thing that came up for me was, um, I guess, a bit of judgment in regards to mixing hypersensibility with emotion. Coming from a counseling background, I'm seeing that as thinking that emotions, if emotions are too, I don't know, um, a bit heavy or too much, there's a bit of a judgment on the fact that it wouldn't be okay to have all those emotions. So the connotation was a bit of a trigger for me. But we ended up having a really good chat yesterday about
Oh,
that. It was
yes.
very interesting. So, for before we get into it, um, we actually had to do a bit of research to, I guess, really understand what emotional hypersensitivity was, and um, it was quite interesting. So, we're talking about crying quite a bit, intense, really intense emotion, getting strong reactions to other people's comments, going into your head and making scenarios and going on and on and on about that, avoiding conflict, hypersensitivity in regards to different senses as well, textures, smells, things like that. That really will overwhelm you, being in public spaces, all those things. And all those things can cause not just big, heavy emotion, but also, go to anxiety and all those things. So after reading that, I said to myself, oh, I don't think I really have that. I wouldn't say I'm a hypersensitive person, but I realized that I actually live with someone who is emotionally hypersensitive. So we can talk about it a bit later. But tell me, what comes up for you when we talk about that?
Well, like yesterday, when we did the little research and I was reading all the signs to know if you might be um, emotionally eye sensitive, and I realized that I am. I recognize myself in every every sign that I read. So it was a bit of a shock for me.
Mm.
And well, I realized rapidly that it's because I didn't, there's like my old life that I used to numb all of my feelings. So I
Mm.
had this mask, this front that I used to, I didn't want to show people my
Yeah.
emotions, and I wanted to be perfect and just not show off anything.
Yeah.
And I got sober, I started my new life, and how can I say this? I reinvented myself in well, it's my real self, but I got matured emotionally, and I know my emotions now. I let them pass, and I accept my emotions. But I didn't realize that I was hypersensitive. So
Mm.
when it was really a bit of a shock yesterday when I realized that. But yesterday, yeah, so today I thought about this a lot, and I was really self conscious. And yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah, well, and I'm really glad for our small talks yesterday in French and tonight for me, because it's the morning for you, but tonight for me is really a good moment for me to take a pause of my day.
Mm.
And I was realizing this is because sometimes we don't, well, I don't have the energy to do some chores at night during the evening. Well, this is not a chore, it's a conversation with my friend. And actually, it's a moment for me to calm down. I made myself hot beverage, and it's good for my digestion. And I have a good conversation with my friend. And this, for me, is a perfect moment to take care of my energy.
Mm.
And as we were reading yesterday, um, I'm really, really sensitive in spaces that there is a lot of people. And today I went
Mm.
to the hospital with my husband. So there,
Yes.
yes, so there was a lot of people, and there's not a lot of good energy in the hospital. So when I came back, I was exhausted,
Of course.
but it was only the middle of the day. I was exhausted, like it was night. I didn't have any more energy. I
Mm.
so and our conversation of yesterday came up, and I was okay. Like I have to. My priority is to take care of my energy now. So I
Yeah.
cleansed myself with sage.
Yes.
Yes, and I did some herding, grounding,
Oh, yeah.
and I did my day, but I can feel it that
Mm.
it changed my energy for the all day.
Of course.
For
Of
yeah,
course.
so
But those big emotions do take a lot of your energy, and it can be draining. So, but the thing is, you need to recognize that you've got um, hypersensitivity, I guess, and it's it requires emotional maturity. So, another thing that I want to mention is we discussed that yesterday. As much as I don't think I go to those extents, I don't want to mix being emotionally hypersensitive with um, having strong values, because there's some things that really gets me, and I will take on the battle, which will require a lot of my energy. which doesn't necessarily mean I am hypersensitive. It's more that I am passionate about that. This is something that is very important to me, and I will, go to bat for that particular thing. And but then living with someone,
Mm-hmm.
um, and now I'll give you some example. And I know my husband will be watching that a bit later today, so I love you, baby. My husband will is very, very emotional, which is completely fine, nothing negative about it. But then we're talking, he will get in his head a lot and think about things, and then, make scenarios, which is extremely draining. But then it can go on in his head for days, sometimes weeks. And it's I'm going to use the word poison because I actually do believe it is poison.
It is.
I'll say what I have to say and then I move on. But then something's going to come up for him. I don't know, something I said. I don't know. I'm going to give an example now. I'll ask him, "Oh, you didn't have time to empty the dishwasher," for example. Which to me is just a fact. I'm just stating a fact. You didn't have time to empty the dishwasher. And then that's the end of it. But then he will take it as I'm blaming him for not having emptied the dishwasher, and then he's going to go in his head and then he's going to think about it, and then it goes with self-worth and self-confidence as well, but it goes on, and then he makes scenarios that he might not, it is not a true story, I'm just making that up, that he's going, oh well, she doesn't think I'm good enough, she doesn't think I can do the chores in the kitchen, and then go on and on and on and on. And then a week later it's been literally eating him alive, that thing about the dishwasher, which I've already moved on. And then he'll come back to me and, remember last week when you said such and such about the dishwasher? And I'm like, what? I've already moved on. And that's but then for the whole week he's been thinking about it. And it's actually sad when I think about it, and I wish we could, just talk about it and move on. But not everyone is able to. And but it's a journey. But and he's getting much better now, and then once you acknowledge, oh, hang on a minute, am I going a bit too hard on that? Is that really a thing? Or it is hard to recognize when it's too much and when it's not too much. And what we were saying yesterday too is it might be too much for me that he goes on and on about it for a week, but then he might think that, has she got emotions at all? Or so it's a complete different point of view of the same situation. And unless you have really good communication, it can be very, very tricky.
Yep. Yes, communication here I think is the key. Yeah, because learning to say, saying our emotions and just putting them out there and accepting and just learning to communicate with our loved ones, just to, and not in the someone is blaming someone, not in that way, but just here, I felt this, this is what came up for me, and to validate, am I
Absolutely.
wrong? Instead of keeping the the story, it's a false story.
But you don't always realize that's what's happening. When let's say, for example, in your 20s, I'm sure you would not have noticed that, hang on a minute, is that
Yeah,
emotional hypersensitivity?
no,
No, you realize that as you get older, as you mature, as you have more life experience, more
for
wisdom,
sure.
more self knowledge, more. But
Mm-hmm.
then once you know and you acknowledge it, you accept it. And then if you're in a good relationship and you can communicate and say, well, this is what's happening, can we talk about it? Then that's it. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
acknowledgement and acceptance, and but that does not come automatically.
Well, no, because it comes with a self-confidence too. And yeah, so learning to respect yourself, to say no without guilt, um, learning
That's
to,
hard.
yes, protect your energy and to recharge your energy. So
Mm.
this is all small things that I learned during the last years, but I put them in practice, um, and I'm getting better at it. But it's a question of practice, everyday practice. Yeah. And if I'm very tired or I didn't eat
Mm.
well, these are
Of
small,
course,
yeah, small things that are gonna change my
of
vibe,
course,
and
of course.
maybe I'm gonna get
Yeah,
overwhelmed
yeah,
easier, or yeah,
yeah.
yeah, faster.
I grounding exercises, just breathing and trying to, well, I would definitely recommend meditation, but it's not for everyone. But just the breathing, when an episode like that happens, that you feel that you're overwhelmed or you're overreacting to something or whatever it could be, or you've got an emotion, a sensory overload, or whatever that could be. I think breathing is definitely one of the best tool I would give in any situation.
For sure.
But unless you acknowledge it in the first place that you're getting a little bit overwhelmed or something is happening, then you can't do the breathing technique. It goes together. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
be aware of it, accept it, and then put those tools into place to help.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, to accept, well, acknowledge that you are hypersensitive, sensitive, and to accept it and see it as a maybe like a strength or a superpower, because this means that you
Mhm.
have a strong intuition, and it gives you empathy for others.
Mhm. Yeah.
So those are strengths. So don't forget that
Mhm.
they are strengths, but you have to um, use them as strengths.
But you know what? The thing is with, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but with society in general, as a lot of things, it's got a negative connotation.
For sure.
You're overreacting. Oh, it's just too much. You're too sensitive. You're too
She's
emotional. It
crying
has,
again.
yes. Here we go. That's it. Yeah. So it does have a negative connotation, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. But I think it's really important to emphasize on the fact that it is not negative.
No,
Being hypersensitive is not negative, but it can be negative on yourself, on your body, on your health, on your mental, on your psychological, even physical. It can have an impact because, again, it takes a lot of energy, it drains you, it gets you tired, and at the end of the day there's a lot of things that can be affected by that. Your family, your children. By the end of the day you've got nothing left, and then you come back from work and then you see your kids, but you're drained because the whole day was, being all that energy being sucked out of you. So it is affecting your life in general. So as long it is not negative, but then it's important to recognize it, acknowledge it, and then put things in place to try and help. and not to eliminate it, but
No.
to reduce what is happening, the physical dysregulation, I
Yes,
guess,
and
with
the
the symptoms and all
negative
that.
impact on yourself,
Exactly.
for sure. Just to have like an a stability and well, it's if you take care of your energy,
Mm.
example, if you have a feeling, an intuition that with this person or in this situation, you're not feeling good.
Mm.
You're not feeling it. It's no. And you practice just to name your emotion, express
Mm.
yourself in a healthy way instead of going on with this story that you made up.
Yep.
Just in the moment, well, it's gonna save you a lot of energy and time.
Yeah.
So it's
And
really,
physical pain,
oh yeah, for sure. And mental,
exhaustion.
oh, phew, yeah, for sure. So it's quite a good subject. And yesterday when we read it, okay, this is our subject for, the reaction was, oh, okay, I'm not sure.
Well,
Nothing's
nothing
coming
was
up.
coming up to me. Yeah, it
No.
was more, as I said, the negative connotation to having big emotion. That's what really got me from the start. But then, doing some research, it's not quite that. Um, mm.
Yeah,
What
because it's,
what do you do to when you get into that? So do you do those things, making scenarios, or I don't know, I guess overreacting to things, getting, I don't know, offended by people's
um,
comments, or
well, I'm really better at not getting overwhelmed and overthink. Really getting better, but it is there. So I have to really observe myself and be self-conscious of what's happening in my body
yeah.
and what the intuition or my gut feeling, my twinkling in my stomach. I
Mm,
have to be alert. These signs are talking to me, and I used to just numb them.
mm,
I didn't want to feel them, but now I'm practicing to know myself better and know what my body language is. So we have to put these tricks in place. So yes, the just to calm yourself, meditation, respirations. Um, it could be just being aware and taking a pause. In my case, being aware of my energy, I've got to just take care of it and say, okay, now I have to stop. I have to, because I'm the kind of person who can work like
mm,
and never stop. Like I could do
mm.
these, I don't know, 10 hours, 12 hours, and didn't ask for a break,
Yeah.
forgetting to eat just because I was in my work mode.
Yeah.
Yes. So just being aware of this and taking care of
Mm.
my energy is a lot. And accepting it and not judging
Yes.
myself. Because I had to change this way of seeing myself, because if I took a pause and a rest, I used to judge myself like, oh, you're so
Yeah.
lazy. You need
Mm.
to stop. So just going to the grocery store and coming back and being like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
So I used to judge myself for that too.
Mm.
But if I take it, I take care of it, and I accept it and I take care of it with in a way that I love myself, well, it's gonna go
With
easier.
empathy and compassion and
Yes,
love.
for
Yeah.
myself. Yes,
Absolutely.
and it's gonna go
Absolutely.
fast, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be easy because
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take care of it. Yeah. So it's not all day. It's just a little rest. Sometimes I do naps. I love doing naps. Okay.
Mm.
And my husband, he doesn't do naps because if he does one, he goes out like for 2, 3 hours, and
And
after
then he
that
comes
he's
in
all
at night.
mixed up, and so he
Oh,
doesn't do.
yes.
But I'm the kind of person that could do like a power snooze, 15
Oh,
minutes.
nice.
So that's, and after that um, I'm up and
You're good.
going. Yeah. So we were taking a little rest, and I said, okay, I'm going to close my eyes just for a few minutes, like 15 minutes, and I don't want to go past 20, so wake me up if I. So I close my eyes and I opened them again, and I don't know. I said, maybe it's been 10, 15 minutes. So I said, did I sleep? I did sleep. He looked at me. It's like, it's been 4 minutes, Steph. But
So you really had a power nap.
4 minutes.
Wow.
And after I sat up, okay, I'm good.
Wow.
So I
It's
can
funny, my
do
husband does that too.
yes, he does.
He does. And then he'll just close his eyes and he falls asleep and boops, he wakes up and that's it.
Mhm.
If I close my eyes, I'm gone for hours.
That's the way my husband is. Yeah.
Wow. That's very
So
interesting.
it
Well, you
is.
see, that's a way for your body to recharge.
Yes. And it's fast, but I have to accept
Wow.
that I have to sit or lie down and close my eyes.
It's funny you say that because something comes up now. It's got completely, absolutely nothing to do with this subject. But I've read some studies on sleep, and everyone's got a different sleep um, pattern, I guess, So you've got a block within a few hours. It varies between 3 and 4.5 hours, I think. And so you go into different phases of sleep. Then, so it's a cycle. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. So you all have a sleep cycle. So if you go to sleep and wake up at any point in time during your sleep cycle, studies show that it makes you even more tired or then really confused or things like that. So I think that's really how it affects me if I wake up in between, and I know what my sleep cycle is. So when I really try to go to sleep at night, knowing that taking into consideration the time I have to wake up. So then there you go. I've got 2 sleep cycles, and then I wake up and I'm fine. So if I go for a nap in the afternoon and I wake up halfway
Oh,
between my cycle, I'm absolutely stuffed.
yeah.
So I guess we're all different, but yeah, there was a very interesting studies on that. So I
Oh,
guess maybe the 4 minutes or the 15 minutes is not enough to affect your brain.
but probably I don't go in my heavy
Yeah.
sleep
Mm.
in that cycle.
In 4 minutes, I doubt that. Yeah.
Superhero, I don't know.
Amazing though. You see, so that's another tool that we can put in our tool belt to when we feel overwhelmed or when there's been a big day of a lot of emotions and just a little quick nap, another
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah, sometimes you
It's
could go
very
in your
interesting.
car if you can,
Mm.
if you're at your workplace and just a small nap.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, mm,
So yeah, it's quite interesting.
it
We
is.
this is another subject that we could do a part one and two and three.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny considering we actually didn't even know we were going to make it part one because we were struggling. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's amazing. Well,
Oh,
next week, the need for control.
oh
Wow.
yeah, okay.
That's
So
going to be exciting.
oh yeah, it doesn't concern me, so I'll let you talk.
Oh my gosh, I've got a lot of that. A lot of that. So
Ah,
yes. So we'll do a me episode.
no, I'm I'm just fooling around because I have that
Really?
need too.
Oh, oh, I have that like yeah,
Yeah, but I
on many different aspects of my life.
yes,
That'll be an interesting subject.
it will.
Thank you
So,
very much, my beautiful friend.
thank
You
you.
have a good night and a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next week.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a nice day, nice week, and we'll see each other next week.
Have a good week, and thank you for the chat.
Thank you. Bye.
Love you, my friend.
Love
Bye.
you.